Hello firearm safety students, it's me Sam from SAMStraining.ca. So like I said, I am going to make some more videos for beginners and novices who are getting into firearms and sport shooting and hunting. So this video will cover the legislated classes of firearms here in Canada as regulated by the Firearms Act in the Criminal Code and the Canadian Firearms Program. The Canadian Firearms Program is run by the Canadian Federal Police, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. They are in charge of all the firearms regulations here in Canada. So non-restricted includes long guns, guns that are long, like rifles and shotguns, which can be used for sport shooting at shooting ranges, in Crown land where it's safe and legal to do so, and on private property where it's safe and legal to do so, where you have permission on that land. These include guns that are considered to be not restricted and are not prohibited and are generally over 660 millimeters or 66 centimeters in length, and they don't shorten or collapse or telescope or collapse to a shorter length. They're longer than that length. The second class of firearms in Canada are restricted firearms. These include handguns that are not prohibited. They may have a barrel shorter than 470 millimeters, that's 47 centimeters or 18.5 inches, and they shoot center fire ammunition, which is powerful ammunition, in a semi-automatic manner. It also includes guns that are shorter than 660 millimeters because the stock folds in half or they telescope or collapse into a shorter length. And they also include any firearm that is prescribed by regulation to be restricted. So any gun that the government deems to be restricted, that could be restricted. The third class of firearms still exists here in Canada. They include prohibited firearms. These include fully automatic firearms. Guns where you can put in the magazine, charge one into the chamber, hold the trigger down, and it'll empty out the whole magazine with one single sustained trigger pull. Like an Uzi or like a MAC-10 or a HK MP5. You just fire like that. Okay, that is fully automatic. That is considered prohibited. Also includes very short, small guns that are very smaller than your hand. They're easily concealable. That generally have a barrel length less than 105 millimeters. That's 10.5 millimeters, 10.5 centimeters. Or they shoot a 25 or 32 caliber cartridge. Those are considered to be prohibited. Now, there are people in Canada who still have prohibited firearms. What happened with the prohibited license was that after 1990s, in the 1990s, the Canadian government decided that they were not going to issue this license anymore. But if you had this prohibited license and you have those prohibited guns, you were allowed to keep them. You were grandfathered into that program. But after a certain date in the 1990s, that license was no longer issued. So if you don't have prohibited now, you're never going to get it. So the two main classes that you can get now are non-restricted and restricted. Restricted guns can be used at a approved, CFO approved, that's the Chief Firearms Officer approved shooting range, which means a shooting club or shooting range where you have to sign up for a membership. They cannot be used at all for hunting. There is no hunting with restricted firearms here in Canada. You can only do those with non-restricted firearms. So if you want the course, if you want to acquire firearms, you have to get the PAL license. And I'll explain that whole process in the next video, in the playlist. But in order to get the PAL, you have to take the mandatory safety training first. So click on my website. The link will be in the description below. SAMStraining.ca. Check out our course calendar and register on the website, and we'll email you back for a course date. If you like what you heard in this video, you want to learn more, please hit like and subscribe below, and I'll try to come up with more videos that you newbies want to know in how to get involved with firearms and sport shooting as well as hunting. Thanks so much. Stay safe.